Judge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. Morning.
Judge Smith, you're the first one up.
I'm up.
Good morning.
Start right out of the gate.
Yep,
First.
we're gonna
She
do
gets a
minutes.
little excited.
Oh yeah,
I have one thing,
we
but
get
come on
gas.
Okay.
up. Okay, I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners motion to approve, I'll make a motion that the Board of Commissioners approves the January 16th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes. Judge Smith.
Touch
Good morning.
Here. All right. Good morning,
Good
Commissioner
morning.
Badalamente and Commissioner Bennett.
Yes.
I have a couple of things I wanted to hand out to you to start.
Okay.
And I will do everything in my power to stick in my 20-minute time frame.
Thank you.
I want to start
Thank
out,
you.
which is not what's on the agenda, I apologize. I wanted to thank the Board of Commissioners for the space for CASA, and I wanted to give you guys the recent annual report and our impact statement from 2023, indicating, and I put one there for Commissioner Tinlin
Okay.
as well, if you guys could give that to
Yep.
him, I'd appreciate it. The CASA program has, oh my goodness, so selfishly has saved my court. But the purpose of it is to save the kids and families, right? And they have done an amazing job. I could not be more proud of this program. And just briefly, in 2022, our case length of kids being in custody was 15 months. With the help of CASA, in 2023, the average case length was 11 months. And we expect it to continue to go down. We have 46 volunteers who have contributed 2,600 hours of volunteer time. If we paid them at the rate we pay GALs, that would be $195,000. So super proud of this program. I can't even tell you how amazing it has been. It has helped our court tremendously. It's helped JFS. It's helped the community. So thank you so much for that space. But the reason I'm here today, and I took that opportunity to plug the CASA program, and also Ann spent a lot of time preparing these reports, so I wanted you guys to have them.
Excellent, thank you.
The reason I'm here today is I have a proposal to rent the 4th floor in the Riddle Building, and there's space in which my probate clerks were in during the remodel. And I would like to rent that for my truancy diversion program. Why I chose Riddle is the truancy diversion specialists are already in Riddle in room 204. Any kind of truancy diversion programs should not be in a courthouse. The purpose is to keep kids out of the courthouse. That's the whole purpose behind it. It already has security in the building, so obviously it's already there. And most importantly, as you guys know, we have no transportation to our juvenile court. I'm located on Infirmary Road. We have no public transportation. People can't get there. I have a hard enough time getting the folks who have to be in my court to court, much less to do these programs. If I can, I don't mean to be insulting in any way, but I'd like to educate you briefly on the landscape of juvenile court, because I don't think people understand this. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, really the philosophy of juvenile court was if you committed a felony, you went to prison. Really that simple. And I was a public defender in Cuyahoga County back in the 90s, and those were our conversations, which juvenile prison are you going to? They did a lot of research and study, and they determined that we were just creating criminals by sending them to prison. When we're sending kids to prison, we're creating criminals. And guess where they're coming when they get out? Right back to the county in which they left. So they're coming back to our county and committing more crimes. So they did a lot of study and research, and the whole country has shifted their focus, and the whole juvenile courts have shifted their entire landscape. And in 1990s, we had 11 juvenile prisons. Today, we have 3.
I think it's,
We're down to 3. The governor just, it was in the newspaper, the governor just announced that he's looking to close the last 3. and he would like to open up, over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, he'd like to open up 10 to 12 regional facilities that are smaller and community-based. So the whole focus of juvenile court has switched to, over the last 15 to 20 years, community-based rehabilitation. When I got to the court in 2021, I had a lot of work to do to see where we were at, what we were doing, how we were handling things. The reason we moved the truancy diversion specialists into the Riddle building was because it shouldn't be in court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best practices. 3 of my 4 specialists are paid through grant funding, have been paid through grant funding, their salaries. So truancy, you know what truancy is.
Mhm.
Kids don't go to school, right? Huge problem, we all know that. There's currently a bill that, it's a bipartisan bill in the House, that they're trying to pass to pay children to go to school.
Yeah, I
Heard
saw
that.
that.
Did you see that? I don't know.
That made national news the other day too.
Yes, I don't know if it's gonna be effective or not. I don't know if it's even gonna pass or not, but you can see that obviously the problem is so great that they're trying to come up with solutions. We came up with our own solutions because truancy is a huge issue. When I got here in February of 2021, I'm sorry, I need to tell you what diversion is. Diversion is any delinquent, criminal, or unruly complaint on a piece of paper. They bring it, can come from parents, it can come from police officers, it can come from anywhere, schools, what have you. They bring it to the court, doesn't actually get filed as a court case. It was, that's how they were doing it. They don't do that anymore. We created a matrix when I got here so that we did not have any inherent bias or implicit bias, and we created a matrix to take those complaints and review them under this matrix to determine which cases should go to diversion. When I got here, we had 100 cases, truancy diversion cases. This year we have 500. Because of the programming we set up, the truancy and the diversion program with the matrix, we are doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is diverting these cases out of the court and into our programming. So we met with school superintendents, school principals, teachers. We had meetings for an entire year discussing with them what is going on with this truancy? Why is this happening? And why are we not doing anything in our court? And they said House Bill, I gotta get the number here, sorry. House Bill 410. House Bill 410 is essentially a law that allows school to file truancy charges in court only after youth reach a certain number of hours of truancy. However, there's a million reset buttons. So by the time they get to the number in which they can report this to the court, I was getting the cases in like February, March, April. What am I gonna do with those when the kids get out of school in May? There's not much I can do. So we met with them and said, what can we do? How can we help with this problem? And so we developed what's called an at-risk early intervention truancy program. Not expecting it to be what it ended up being in terms of referrals. We met with them all through 2022. We started the program in August of 2023. By October of 2023, we had 100 referrals. We were not getting any referrals prior to that. So we immediately, in the first month or 2 of school, had 100 referrals. So and now we're up to 500 total cases by the end of 2023, 498 to be exact. By the end of 2023 for our diversion truancy program. So the issue became, we have our 4 specialists in room 204 in 4 cubicles. The programming requires them to meet with the parents, the children, sometimes community partners, because some of these kids are already in some treatment, to develop a plan to keep these kids in school, to figure out where is the, what's the barrier of why this kid isn't going to school. It can sometimes be super simple and we can fix it right away and they go back to school. Sometimes it's a bigger problem. Sometimes it's a family situation or mental health issues or substance abuse or whatever that might be. So now my problem is that they have nowhere to meet these people. they can't meet them in 204 because I have 4 cubicles in there and they're pretty tight. They need to meet with a parent, then they meet with the child, then they meet with them together. Sometimes there's other folks. There's no space for them to meet, to be quite frank. They are kind of scooting into CASA, and because they're right next door, and they're both my employees, and it's becoming prohibitive for both, right? It's not helping CASA, and it's not helping the diversion truancy. So we came up with the idea that as my clerks got out of the 4th floor when the remodel for probate was done, there's this empty space that's been empty for a long time, and we thought if we could move our folks up there, they would have space to meet them. We already have security in the building, and they can arrange it up there where they can meet with the folks that they need to meet with. There has to be some element of privacy, obviously. You know, you can't meet with everybody in one room, so they have to kind of go around.
Isn't that a pretty big space up there?
It is a
Shannon?
huge space. It is a
Yeah.
huge space.
3,956 square
Yeah.
feet.
It's
Whoa.
it's a
Are you
big
sure?
space.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a big space. I'll
Do
be
you wanna
honest,
use
Point
the whole
two.
floor?
just that, whatever that space is,
At the
in
end?
One
JFS
huge
was in.
area.
That
It's
one where you
one-
got
it's
steps
one
up the
huge
Yeah,
area.
up the
It's
roof?
huge. I think
can't.
there's one office in there.
Okay,
I
But
think-
everything else is just open space.
okay.
Yeah, and I think Cody has his supplies in one of the upstairs. There's also that large,
And that's for the whole county, we
right.
found out.
So there's a
Data.
huge data system
Tower
with
thing.
tower
Yeah.
in that space. That's for the whole county. So it's just there. Anyway, so that was my proposal, and if I
But you
may.
need all of the 3,000,
So-
but there's no way to divide it?
I don't know how you
It's
divide it,
not-
though.
That's the problem. I don't know
Kelly-
how
Kelly
you
Jo
do
got all of, there's cubicles kind of all over the place in there with, as of today, she should have everything taken out of there. Between yesterday and today, it's now one open space. I have not seen it yet. But she had cubicles in there from when they were in there a long time ago.
So I'm looking towards the future, and as I said, so here's what I wanna tell you about our grant funding. Because I think it will help y'all understand the significance of juvenile rehabilitation within the community.
May I ask one question? At the beginning, you talked about the diversion and how many kids in the 90s went
Yeah.
to jail. And that whole system has been basically revamped
Yes.
there. And if you send me to jail, likelihood I'm coming out a little bit worse than when I went in.
Correct.
So the diversion program that you're having, what's the reoccurrence that,
Well, I have that for
Or
you,
if-
because that is how prepared I am for you.
thank you,
I have every program that my court offers and its success rate. I can't tell you the truancy intervention because we just started it,
Okay.
so we don't have.
well, that's one of those
If
ones
you want
that
these, I'm happy. I have enough for you.
it'll be not fun, it'll be interesting to see how
Yes.
the truancy does. But growing up in
Absolutely.
Cleveland, it's the criminal side of it is that I find very interesting, and the programs that you're doing, and that's what we never hear, hey, we're doing this.
Right.
But we really never hear,
We have, so what I learned is, which I did not know this when I took the bench in February of '21, I really didn't. What I learned when I got here is that essentially the state of Ohio is incentivizing, and has been for 20 years, juvenile courts to do rehabilitative programming within the community in order to not send kids to CCFs, which are community control facilities, which I believe we have currently 12 regional CCFs. They're essentially prisons, but they have rehabilitative components to them. That's the first stop that you go to. And then if you don't make it in a CCF, you go to ODYS. So the state of Ohio incentivizes juvenile courts through grant funding to program. So when I got here, and you'll see my numbers here, we were getting approximately, well, I won't even say approximately, I'll tell you exactly, $479,764 in grant funding for our programming. How that works, DYS, it's called Reclaim Ohio. And every county gets what we call a base amount. So it is based on your census, okay? Portage County gets 224, I believe it's $224,060 is our base. The rest of the funding is what we get if we use best practices, we keep data, and we do this programming within our community. That includes working with community partners, and as you'll see in that list I gave you, these are all our programs. We work with Children's Advantage. We do our Car Teens program with Ohio State Extension and the Highway Patrol. We work with King Kennedy. We have a grant with them. And then we use Town Hall 2 for some of they have grant funding that gives them programs that we are utilizing through them. So we are working well with all of our community partners, schools, superintendents, the principals, all of the various agencies within the community. The $224,000 that we get every year, we're gonna get that no matter what based on our census. I believe, I hope I'm not misspeaking, because I know I'm being recorded. I believe that $224,000 is essentially guaranteed funding based on our census. The rest of the funding is based on us not sending youth to prison. So we are incentivized not to send them to prison, not to just let them run the streets, but to do programming, to do rehabilitation. So my argument is that we have to start at that base level with the truancy diversion. That's their first contact of any kind of problem, right? And then it continues up, because eventually, if we're not successful in our truancy diversion, they're gonna end up committing a delinquent act, and they're gonna end up in my court, and then they're gonna end up in our probation department or our detention center. And so we have these levels, but we have to build that bottom level. So what I'm gonna tell you is when I got here, I said, well, how come we're not getting more money? How come we're only getting $400,000? There's lots of money out there, I want more money. So we went and talked with DYS, we talked to other counties, we went to other counties to see what their programming looked like, many of them having been doing it for 15 or 20 years. And in my second year, we got $795,000 in grant funding. And this year, for 2024, they're on a different budget than, it's June to July, June to
It's a
June.
fiscal budget.
Okay,
A fiscal,
yeah.
not calendar, yeah.
Yes, thank
It's
you.
July 1st to June 30th.
So our 2024 is $1,172,774 that we are bringing into this county for these programs. So I know the big question is always, is it guaranteed? I mean, nothing is guaranteed. But if we continue to have the success rates that we're having, which we've listed on here, 88%, 77%, 73%, 95%, 83%, if we continue to have this success rate in our programming, we will continue to get the money, because that is the whole landscape that the state of Ohio is trying to get juvenile courts to do.
Give a definition of success.
You know, I'm gonna honestly tell you, I don't know the answer to that. In my opinion, I feel like anything above a 50 or 60%
When we
rate-
say 50% or 88% or 77%, what does that actually mean? So the first one, the canteens, 88%.
Cartoons. So
Cartoons.
88% not having recidivism, which means they
Come back
completed
and
the
did it again.
Cartoons program and they did not pick up another traffic ticket or end up back in my court.
Oh, okay.
Or any court for
Right.
that matter, because we search before the Cartoons program is to essentially get rid of their traffic record completely, so we essentially hold it. Never gets sent to the BMV. They complete the program and they do not reoffend in 6 months, we then dismiss the case
Yeah.
entirely and it goes away.
Thank you.
So that's kind of how most of these programs work, is the success rate is based on not reoffending. You know, we have won 2 awards since I've taken the bench from DYS. They're super excited that we are doing what we're doing. They have encouraged us and helped us tremendously, because I know it sounds crazy, they want to give us the money. They want us to have this money so that
Success.
we can have success and we don't send kids to prison.
Okay.
So that's
Reasonable
the whole,
thought.
Right, it makes sense. And so that is why, I mean, what is that, God, I think it's, our grant funding's increased 144% since I've taken the bench. So we are trying to be good stewards of our finances and of the taxpayer dollars, and we are trying to continue to bring these funds in. I'm not asking to amend my budget. I'm asking to pay whatever the fair market value
Yep.
is for that space. I will say this, I don't know that there is any other space in that, building.
No.
So the point is security is a
Mhm.
huge issue. So if I were to go somewhere else, I would then need security, and then we're
Cost more.
talking even
Yeah.
more money. So that was why we selected that space. I will tell you, I'm being forward-thinking, and I'm sure none of this will surprise you, but one of the next things we would like to try to do at some point with JFS is mediation.
Mhm.
And that could be done in that space.
Okay.
So we're thinking for the future as well as for what we need right now. So,
Okay, I'm
do
gonna.
you guys have any questions?
Divert to
Well, I
our
can,
internal
I'm gonna go to
services.
Shannon,
Yeah.
and you apparently spoke with the judge
Yes.
about this thought. We have the space.
We have the space, last year, I have not gotten the Maximus price per square foot for
Mhm.
this year yet. JFS is even waiting for it, they just don't have the numbers yet
Okay.
for us, but last year, for 2023, it would have been $3,105.46 per month
Mhm.
for that space. It's about $9.18.
Yeah, it's
Ish.
cheap.
It's cheap,
yeah.
yeah.
Actually.
Now,
And
we
that
are doing a lot of
includes-
improvements in that building,
Right.
just so you know, so in a couple of years from now, cause we're always a little bit behind, this price per square foot will go up,
Okay.
but for
And
right now, I mean.
We have a new roof that doesn't leak.
I just
I don't know if she's on the
roofers.
slate side.
We might need that over in the
Development
main
board.
courthouse, cause my
Over there.
court
Oh.
administrator has, water coming into her office,
Through the windows?
BOC.
through
Yeah,
the ceiling.
right.
But I
Okay,
guess
but-
my point, and what I will say about the fourth floor is, you know, I don't know how rentable it is with the county IT in there, right? I mean, are you gonna bring somebody in from off the street and trust them with this tower in this
Well,
office?
that could
I don't
be-
know.
That could be sealed off. that
Yeah.
I
We-
mean,
Right.
those
there's
are
ways we
walls
can
that you
do
can, you
that.
can do
There's
that.
walls you can do it, but then how do they get to it? And they gotta
just have
get to
one
it.
entrance, and they
Yeah.
have to have
Yeah.
dividers to which.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
I mean, it's a workable,
It's out
but
to the
sure.
side,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
but it's a big, large area.
it is a big, large area.
Yeah.
so Shannon, is there were other needs or anyone expressed an interest in that or?
Okay.
I have not, I do know it needs some fixing, from the leaks that we've had in the
Mhm.
past.
Yep.
So maintenance, regardless, I mean, we need to fix
Fix
the
it,
area,
okay.
I'm sure the carpet needs to be cleaned.
Alright.
Yeah.
But there's
that's
some, like
probably
the
true.
ceiling, you know, it is an old building, you know, the windows have not been replaced, so
Mhm.
there is some damage and stuff there, but,
Yeah.
it's good.
Those
Nobody
are
else
things
is
that
seemed
sounds like
to
we
be out
have
for
to
it.
Aesthetic, we gotta fix, yeah.
Irregardless of
Right,
who
you
we
do.
rent it to.
Yeah.
I would be in favor of the judge being able to utilize that for the programs that they're doing.
And Judge, you said you don't need to revise your budget. You think that you can get this in the grant? Or
So,
how are you gonna?
I'll be honest with you, we don't use, we use grant funding for what we
The
pretty way of
programs.
saying, well, no, the
Programs.
pretty way of saying it is direct services, which is actually the salary of the people. I have about 10 or 11 people who are paid directly from grant funding that are employees. We think it's the cleanest, easiest way to show DYS what we're doing. It's harder to convince them to pay for rent. So I do have money, frankly, I had money in my budget for rent for this space, not planned. I had planned to use it for another project. We're still behind in all of our scanning and everything. We were gonna use it for that. We're gonna do that in-house, and I would use that money that's already set aside for the rent.
Yeah.
So I don't need to amend or revise.
You okay?
But then going forward.
Well, going forward, I'm gonna have to obviously anticipate that.
Yeah, well, my point is, yeah, because you court order it, so, you know, if we went outside, we would get outside funding, because as Shannon says, it's an old building. We
Sure.
sunk a ton of money, and
Understood.
could sink a ton more money on it. So that's why I was asking if you get any grant funds, because a lot of times they will.
Well, I get over $1 million in grant funding. That's what I get.
But I know, but you've also expanded programs
Sure.
for that. I mean, it's not like
I guess what I'm looking
they
at
weren't
is,
getting it.
I can take people off the grant for salary, which, and then
Yeah.
pay the rent out of the grant, but I don't know that that really makes any.
No, I'm
how
just
does-
asking.
No, I know,
what
I'm
the
just
rent
saying,
is.
how does that, do you see
I don't
what
know.
I'm saying?
I mean, other grants do allow for
Yeah.
for space. Around. I was just asking.
Oh, I do not
No.
believe the DYS grants, do anything with space. I don't think they directly will pay for any kind
Okay.
of
Could you give us an opportunity to think about this for a
Yeah.
few days and let you
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're,
We'll talk
we're
to
running a
Shannon.
little bit behind.
Oh,
But no, that's right.
sorry.
Thank,
Yes.
thank,
Yeah, I took
Jessica,
5
thank you
extra
very
minutes.
much for coming in.
And
Appreciate it.
thank
Thank you.
Thank you. And I
Alright.
left you all the materials.
Thank you.
If you have any
Appreciate it.
questions,
Good
let me
job
know.
with everything. It's nice to see everything
Yeah.
change.
All the
Right.
good you've done.
And NOPEC, you are up, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Materials for you. It's good to see
Thank
everyone.
you.
Commissioner Tillman.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I do want to apologize on behalf of Chuck Kuiper. He had some board of director issues this morning that is taking him downstate, so he asked me to step in.
Oh, that's fine.
I know everybody here is familiar with NOPEC.
Would you introduce yourself? so
Absolutely,
everybody on
I
camera
do
knows?
apologize.
Okay,
I'm
that's all right.
Joshua Burns. I'm the Director of Government Affairs with NOPEC. Jeff Heinrich, Portage County Relationship Manager, reports with me. I'm responsible for all 240 NOPEC communities and relationships with professionals like yourselves, mayors, council people, commissioners, and making sure that we're able to give the best services to all of our communities. I was asked to come here today to talk to you all about our preferred pricing program. I know you're familiar with NOPEC in general, so the folders that I gave you, the right side is just general NOPEC information, just as a refresher. That top tab, making aggregation easy, we'll also talk about the preferred pricing program, but we did give you the one page that we handed out at our General Assembly in November that talks about our preferred pricing program. It's honestly one of our simpler programs. It is taking your municipal load, whether it's fire stations, this building, what street lights, and being able to take all of them, aggregating whether it's electric or natural gas, and doing at-cost pricing. So there's no utility add-ons. It's whatever the market rate is at that time. We do traditional electric or renewable, 1, 2, or 3 year contracts, depending on the county's budget cycle, how that works for you all. I'm not able to give exact pricing today because everybody knows in the last 2 years the energy market has been a little bit crazy, so I want to make sure whenever we do give quotes, it is as accurate as possible. But it's really about as easy as it gets. It takes about 30 days for everything to switch over, and we can handle pretty much any load and any number of accounts. So we try to make things easy. We have a 24/7 call center, so if there are ever any issues, they're based out of Michigan. So it's easy to get a hold of them quickly. Jeff and I are available at any time should anything else come up. And I think that's it. I want to be cognizant of you all's time. I know it's behind schedule.
And I just want to state for the record, this is for our facilities.
Yes.
This is not the aggregate that goes into the unincorporated area. This is just for our facilities, and it's our understanding, we're still locked in with, Dynergy, I think it is, until next year, I believe it goes through, or maybe up to 2025, I wanna say. So, what I'm hearing you say is, if we decide that we wanna shop, we need to meet closer to when we're done with Dynergy in order to get, comparable rates for the market at the time, which I understand, cause it's very all over.
It's
Go ahead.
Palmer Energy
Palmer
though.
Energy.
Palmer
It's
Energy.
Palmer Energy, yeah,
So-
but they
so-
use Dynegy though, you're right.
So the contracts that we've had, that we've talked about since I've been here, is some of them you have to let somebody know a year in advance prior to you saying, hey, we don't want that anymore. So if it's over in 25, isn't 24?
So, my understanding, Shannon,
Mine too,
right,
yeah.
is that we had to let the current contract, which is CCAO, Palmer, whomever, know by February 1st if we wanted out of the current contract. So, based upon previous conversations, that's why NOPEC is here to give you an option to decide, do you want to stay with CCAO, Palmer, Dynergy, or do you want to shop with NOPEC where they can get some pricing? I have no idea how long that would take.
So that's 6 days away.
Okay, well, do you-
I'm asking
Yeah,
what
but-
you just said. So looking at both, we have Palmer looking there, and I mean, when we did that, we did that relatively quickly 3 years ago. So I've never done the process besides, hey, Palmer presented, yep, we switched over. So how do we do that?
Well, it wasn't like that, Tony. What happened was they have to go out and shop, and then they bring back the rates and then we actually select what provider we want.
Correct. We had a presentation that day, 3 years ago. I was just in office, and then that day, we did a resolution, we switched over to CCOA, which was Palmer, correct?
Yeah, but that had been in the works prior to you coming on
Oh,
board,
okay.
just so you know. 'Cause
So
the
that's
same
the question.
thing with these guys, he's not gonna be, if he quotes us rates today, there's a very good chance they're not gonna be, we have to wait closer to the end. And we are actually getting verification because we're hearing, Chris Maduri interprets it as we have till February 1st, but then we called CCAO and they're like, no, there is no like opt-out window. It's just when we get closer to the termination. So we've asked for verification for sure on that before we miss the window. But like I said, we're not gonna be able to pick it today because we're too far out.
Correct, and that's, so February, you just said February 1st. February 1st of 2024 or 2025?
So my understanding currently is that we had to inform CCAO by February 1st of 2024 if you want to be out of the 2025 contract. However, there is discussion saying
Yeah,
that's not
saying that's
necessarily
not
the
true,
case.
and
But
they sent
our
us
prosecutor
provision.
told us,
Mhm.
Shannon, yes, yep,
Yeah, I saw
That
the
is correct.
emails, but we're getting verification and
Who are we getting
should
verification
have
from?
it from, we should be getting it from Palmer Energy to understand and have them put in writing when they're saying they don't even have that provision in there where you have to opt out by X months. So that's what we're trying to clarify.
Because I get confused easily.
Okay.
So if we made a deal today, we have no idea what it's gonna be when the contract's over, nor does Palmer, nor do you guys. Nobody has any clue at all. So what are we making a decision on?
Nothing.
Or what do we,
I mean-
I'm missing the process. If there's a time frame that we have to say, hey, we really don't
Well-
want, you're saying Palmer doesn't have, or CCOA doesn't have that in theirs.
Yeah.
And whichever one that we were to choose to do, and if it has to be that far out, nobody can give us a price until.
Well, I think we
that-
made this decision to have them come in because it was our understanding, according to the prosecutor, that the contract said we had to make a decision a year out.
put them on notice at least,
Yeah,
right?
put them on notice, so that's why we had NOPEC, but really, like John said, he would, even if we decided to bid out with both
Yeah, yeah.
companies and have them both, he would not even come in to present till like 3-4 months out. He would never come this early. And I feel bad for NOPEC, cause at least they've come in and told us that they can do the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna give us numbers today to
Exactly.
decide on. So I think that's it.
Well,
We're gonna
I'm
choose
I'm
to-
fine by that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, what you said February 1st, and then you're saying CCOA is that, and.
Well, we're getting verification
Yeah.
because we're also going by the prosecutor's interpretation versus theirs. So hopefully we'll have an answer today in writing that we don't have an opt-out window
So
with
can,
them.
can we have some direction from the board? Would you like us to at least entertain
Yes.
Yeah.
some
Yes.
numbers from NOPEC? And
Exactly.
we could put
Yeah,
a
so-
CCAO on notice that we're at least looking into
Yeah,
things?
the notice is, and I mean,
When it's
verify what Sabrina has just
Right,
said with
we did reach out.
CCOA.
But we can still do
Have,
it.
that's there, but that's my confusion is if I have to commit what I'm gonna do in 2025, in 2024, that, none of that makes any sense to me.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
think
so
there's
where this
been
is
some
not.
confusion.
they're easily done for me.
Yeah.
So we have, NOPEC has the ability to do that, the same as the CCOA, Palmer Energy has, but we don't, and I'd like to, before we even go further, because this February 1st thing that you initially said is just like, whoa, then if we should be able to have that, and I'd like that verification by today if we can get that.
Well, that
Yeah.
was the plan.
Okay.
so.
And how
Cool.
long do you need to
Yeah.
put some numbers together, and how long would they be guaranteed for? Like, I guess educate us on the process.
Yeah, normally the way the process would work, and my relationship managers have been doing this across our footprint, it's really hard to give savings numbers because every community is different in their situation. But generally, we'd get a list of the accounts that you want to switch over so our supplier can get an idea of the load. And then it's usually 24, 48 hours that from the time that we get the accounts to the time that we can get an actual quote. And then from there, typically they're good for a week. We can extend that to a couple of weeks, and that's partially because of the market. Now, as we get closer to the end of the year, we can give a little bit longer if we know that's what the board's looking for.
Yeah.
So help me, this pricing stuff. Pricing is good for today or a week. And so when 2025 comes in, regardless which one we choose, whatever we think about today may be totally different in February.
So the best example, I'm sure everybody remembers in 2022 when the global energy market went crazy. If we'd have met 2022 in January, I could have said a certain price and would have had no clue that the market by August would have skyrocketed to 11 or 12 cents.
Yeah.
The one benefit I think with NOPEC, and the reason I joined NOPEC a year ago, is that we did do the best thing for the consumers. When those prices went crazy, we moved everybody back to the lower price, including most of our municipal accounts that weren't in
That by
locked
default
rates.
a thing, but you guys.
Making sure that regardless, we try to do the best by all of our communities.
So my last question is, if you were sitting here and you had to make a decision, you have two organizations that do basically the same types of things, what would you be looking at?
If I
Just
were
to change for the heck of it is not a good idea.
I have a question before he answers that. Now with Palmer Energy, they go out to bid and they bring it to us and we select the supplier. Does NOPEC do the same thing, or then you go out to bid and then you select a supplier for us?
we work with our current supplier, which is NextEra Energy, and that's who we get our rates through. That's how we're able to get at cost rates for the municipal.
So you don't
buildings.
go out across
No.
the board, okay, so there's the difference there between Palmer. Palmer actually goes out broader and they let us choose who we want. Okay, NOPEC uses their supplier. Okay, alright, thank you.
So back to the last question I had.
Absolutely. I think, Commissioner, you're on track with getting clarification on what your current contract requirements are. We're more than happy to stay in communication throughout this process to get, it's pretty quickly, we can turn around some of that information. I can go back and get ballparks based off of some of our other communities and what their most recent pricing was, but again, it's very, very difficult to,
It's like a nightmare,
to lock
actually.
that in.
Yeah.
I know with ours, we don't have any notice requirement regardless if it's 12, 24,
Yeah.
36 month things. It's normal early termination fees that are in normal terms and conditions. So it's staying in contact with us. We're happy to get as much information as possible, and we'll get it to you as early as possible, but we also want to be good advocates for you and make sure we don't give you a price that we may not be able to
To
sustain.
live up to.
A couple
So that's
months
my
later.
question. With as volatile as energy process is at this time, and then, so just the verification, so right now, Palmer's gonna, CCOA is gonna tell us, hey, there is no, if
Exactly.
you decide to opt out January 1st, 2025, and you guys are, hey, let us know when you even want us to start talking about
Yeah,
that.
we
Okay.
would never wanna wait till then. We would wanna go, as CCO recommended, 3 to 4 more months out. We would want to start doing our due diligence and getting quotes and.
I agree.
Absolutely.
But, hey, go ahead, please.
Just to confirm,
Yes.
you're saying that there is no opt-out?
For NOPEC.
For NOPEC?
Yeah, for municipal accounts, there's no, there's not no opt-out, there's no notification requirement. So should the commission decide to do a 1-year contract, you don't have to do a 6-month notice
I thought that
to let
we
us
did
know
have
the
that.
What's
contract
the fee?
ends.
Let's just say we do. Let's just say, hey, we went out tomorrow.
If you were with NOPEC,
Mhm.
it would depend on how much time is left on the contract and what the load is. So it's usually a prorated amount of whatever the contract would normally
So
be.
there would be a charge.
Yes. That's for early termination only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not we're talking, you're talking termination, we're talking about, hey, can we're gonna be, end our contract is
Yeah.
over.
The normal expiration date
Okay,
of
normal
the
expiration date,
rate.
gotcha, okay. All right, thank you, appreciate it, thank you very much, I'm
Yeah,
good.
thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank
Any
you
other,
for having
Shannon,
me.
do you have any
Good to see you
questions?
guys.
No, you paid the bills, right? Yeah.
Yes, we paid the bills.
That's what, that's it. Right. Thank you very much for coming. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kelly Jo.
Kelly Jo.
I have 7 people in the hallway with me.
You do?
No, I really do.
You do?
I do.
Bring them out.
There's only 3 seats available.
Uh-huh.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Even though there's 7 of us, we are going to be respectful of your time and concise.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think
Why did
Cassidy
we
went
leave
to
Cassidy?
grab something. She
Okay.
went to grab something for you.
Okay.
I believe that my first agenda item is you wanted to acknowledge 2 retirees from
Yes.
Portage County.
Great. Excellent.
So Lisa Walker and Sue Brannon, do you mind standing?
You want one? I'll read the other.
Lisa is retiring with 31 years of service, and
Wow.
Sue is retiring with 36 years of service. This is Lisa's last week, and Sue's is next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, I did see that. I think I should retire. I'm
I'm
ready to
jealous.
find those.
Me too.
Congratulations.
So we're gonna do Lisa Walker Day first?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What we're going to do is I'll read one, then Sabrina will read the other. So, I'd like to go back. Proclamation honoring Lisa Walker, Portage County Jobs and Family Services. Whereas Lisa Walker has diligently served the citizens of Portage County since February 11th, 1993, when she began working in Portage County Jobs and Family Services at Child Support Division before moving to Ohio Means Jobs in March of 2021. And whereas Lisa is retiring after 31 years of service with Portage County Jobs and Family Services. During her long, productive career, Lisa has demonstrated in countless ways her dedication to the welfare of those she served, earning her the respect and affection of her co-workers. In addition, her wit and wisdom, that's a pretty good word, Lisa has provided excellent customer service to the residents of Portage County. She is extremely knowledgeable, not only in the workforce development, but also in the area of child support. And whereas Lisa has always been a knowledgeable, hardworking, dedicated employee who works with integrity, stays on top of even changes, policies, guidances to ensure all tasks were completed accurately, and therefore it be resolved today, Portage County Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Lisa Walker for her dedication, invaluable service to Portage County residents, and for the past 30 plus years is proudly proclaimed Wednesday, January 31st, 2024 as Lisa Walker Day. In witness to thereof and prescribes the names of 3 county commissioners, the Great Seal of Portage County affixed the 25th day of January 2024. Signed, your 3 Portage County commissioners. Congratulations. We'll do them at the end. We'll do that.
Yeah, you wanna do just one big group picture? Or?
I want to,
Yeah.
so we could do it each one.
Okay. Susan Brannon. Susan Brannon, Sue, has diligently served the citizens of Portage County for 36 years, starting with her career with Jobs and Family Services on July 27th of 1987 as an income maintenance aide, and was promoted into the following positions: Account Clerk 2, Account Clerk 3, Account Clerk Supervisor, Fiscal Supervisor, and, drumroll, Budget and Finance Administrator. And Sue is dedicated, intelligent, knowledgeable, kind, professional, collaborative, and team-oriented. And as the Administrator of Budget and Finance and Jobs and Family Services, Sue has been an amazing hero, role model, leading excellent attendance, often working on Saturdays to ensure all reports and special projects meet deadlines. And as the Administrator of Budget and Finance at JFS, Sue has led the team to pass each annual state audit. Kudos. And Sue has been a phenomenal steward of taxpayers' dollars and worked diligently with the agency director to get through a profound time of fiscal constraint, avoiding layoffs and furloughs. Now, therefore, it be that the Portage County Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Susan Brannon for her dedication and invaluable service to Portage County residents over the past 36 years and proudly proclaims Wednesday, January 31st, 2024 as Sue Brannon Day.
Ladies, take a picture with us if you
Take one at a
please.
time and then a whole group photo? That'd be lovely.
We do that. I'd like to get the ladies first,
Yeah.
the group of,
Yeah.
the group of.
Come on, ladies. Congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you.
That's what we're gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss.
Put you dead center of that.
Okay. We'll put her.
Ready? Nice, okay? Good.
Thank you, Lisa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And
Sue,
thank you
thank
for
you.
all your years with
Thank
us.
you.
And to our citizens, we appreciate it.
Lisa, will you get in a picture with me and Sue at the
Yeah.
end too?
Yeah, yeah.
Just don't sit down.
Come on, Sue. Put you in the
Good, so,
middle.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Seriously, I need to be right after you.
Ready? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
With all of JFS?
Appreciate it.
You guys wanna hold them up? You
no.
sure?
No,
Just
that's
you
fine.
sure? What's
Yeah,
wrong?
no.
You guys
Go.
don't want to be photogenic. Go, go.
Yeah, you guys get up
No,
here.
no, Vanessa?
It's the three of you.
You want in?
Is it?
No?
Yeah, you're right.
Alright.
in the middle?
Yeah.
Be in the middle.
Do we want these?
Commissioner, someone in?
No, this is for.
No, this is for her.
They're the ladies.
Alright.
I want to put my arms around you, but.
You're allowed.
Well, let's
No,
center.
it's
We're not center. Let's
Okay,
go move.
center with me.
A little more.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Smile, thank you.
Okay.
Great job, good stuff.
Wait, hey, Sabrina, could you, all the five of us get a?
Oh, yes.
I had to count, am I in five? Yeah,
I guess.
I'm Photoshop.
I gotta take my shoes off.
Yeah. Okay, nice, alright. Okay, I like to get a few.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Everybody gets next Wednesday off.
Yes.
I like that.
Sue, be gone with you, Sue.
It's a new holiday,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I'm gonna
We got
hit
two
my
more?
agenda.
Oh, do we have 2 more?
Those individuals did not, retired a bit abruptly at the end of the year, so we're gonna mail those to them. They are already gone,
Okay.
but we definitely wanna acknowledge them and send those out.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll roll. The first item that I have on our agenda is our November, December data report. I'm just gonna highlight some changes from November. Under the net transportation area, we saw a slight decrease in calls that came in for need, but when I say slight, very slight, so we still have vast need for transit in our county. Still under the Public Assistance Division under Benefit Recovery, while we're still calculating overpayment claims, we're seeing a bit of a reduction in the dollars that are coming in as far as collection. So Rebecca and myself and her team are really gonna look at this hot and heavy and just see if we can step up some initiatives to bring in some more money in that space. So just wanted to give that to you as an FYI. In the workforce arena, on page 3, we didn't have participation rate numbers for you before this came out. So you'll have those in the next meeting. But in the benefit bridge category, we're excited that we've exceeded our 50 caseload. We're at 51 residents that we're working with to successfully transition them off of public assistance into self-sufficiency, and we're excited to hear that the state's gonna continue this effort under the benefit bridge. So again, so proud that Portage is still a pilot county.
What are you, because you said the word, pilot, how's it going? We have 51. How would you grade yourself? What are the pros? What are the cons? What are some of the roadblocks?
Well, it's Mandy and her team, but I can grade her and her team, and I would say I give them an A. We're helping individuals. As you know, when people get gainful employment, if they're on subsidized housing, if they're on subsidized childcare, if they're on food assistance, rent typically goes up, food assistance typically goes down, childcare copays go up. So that's that whole safety net we want to build for them. So we're able to help out with rent and car supports and transportation copays. And so we're really an A at providing safety nets so people aren't having to come back onto the public assistance role. So would you give your team an A as well?
I would always give it a
Yes.
plus.
That's what I thought. So,
Yes.
so that my curiosity is that nothing in new programs, pilot programs, goes.
Right.
So, what are some of the challenges you've run across?
Some of the challenges would be that we're building new processes that haven't existed before. We're giving money directly to clients, whereas we used to pay vendors and teaching them how to manage money on their own. So there's a little bit of a learning curve to that. And it's just finding the way to work that and connect it with other programs.
The other programs, do you see glitches that they have when you try to bring this new program in?
Yeah, I think one of the ways that we leverage it the most is combining it with the other programs. I'll give you an example really quick. Kelly Terry told her I
please.
wouldn't talk. I'm sorry.
I'm asking, so.
I know, okay.
Limited her.
So, I'll give you an example. We were doing outreach at the Haven, the homeless shelter. We were working with a woman that was homeless, didn't have a car, didn't have a job, going in and out every single day of the homeless shelter. She was working with us over there on some of our workshops. We connected her to our manufacturing program, and our WIOA program, adult WIOA program. So we braided her into that. We got her a job with a manufacturer in the community. She just got her first apartment. She said, hey, if I do this, can my boyfriend do it? We said, yes, they're eligible. They come in. We got him a job. They were both promoted. They got their own apartment, their own first car, and they were now eligible for Benefit Bridge. So we're helping them pay their rent and giving them that hand up while they're getting all of their other things in order.
Cool.
So that's a nice way to braid it together.
Those are the kind of things I want to hear.
Yeah, you
So
want-
when
yeah.
you've got this
And
new
then-
program going, and it's an A plus and A. You only gave them an A, right?
So it's-
So it's a.
Oh, you
but
gave
I
them
want
an
to
A
know.
plus.
I want to know
Yeah.
the why you get an A and those success stories. To me, that's what's important to hear about. You got a new program. Yeah, we got 51 people. I want to hear how.
But those are the two of the individual people that
Those are the
and their
biggest
lives are
successes you've
transformed.
had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I just wanna note, again, when they first rolled this out, Portage was one of the few, how many counties, did they do 11 or something,
Yeah, it was like
16?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
right around.
something,
And
we
I know
were one
some-
of the few counties handpicked to pilot this, and now it's spread to the other counties, was what I read, I think, most recently.
It hasn't, 88 hasn't, it hasn't spread to all, but the governor has earmarked dollars to continue to expand.
Okay,
So
there we
we're
go.
living off
Yeah.
of the successes of counties like Portage and the data to say this is valuable.
So I think that's why I would
Yeah.
grade them A plus.
I want to hear more stories to see if it's actually successful.
Okay, next month I'll
It
make
is.
sure. and
Short blurbs that we've got truth.
Yep.
Testimonies.
That's what's important because we hear programs work, but I don't see the people.
And
Yeah.
you know what? And that bridge is being punitive to them. We want them off the
Right.
system. We encourage to get them off the system, but the minute they get a job, we
Everything
immediately
goes to
cut them
place.
at the knees. A single mom gets $400 of her food stamp cut. Her rent goes up. So this is great.
Yeah, it
Thank
is
you.
a great program.
Good.
Go ahead,
Glad
ma'am.
I had 8 people here.
Yeah. There's only 3 of them spoke so far.
Yes.
So.
Child Protective Services, our numbers have maintained as far as children in custody. Child support has been very consistent. We continue to provide about $1.6 million a month to families for child support. And our employment numbers have been consistent as well. We ended December with 192 employees. And I plan next month to bring back some data on some suggested staffing level numbers for 2024. We're just not there yet. Need to see where you guys fall on a couple things. So that's our data report.
Great. So thank you.
I did provide to you our Q4 customer service survey results. I'm not gonna go over those, verbatim, but we saw a little bit of dip in respondents. There were 60 that responded. Our numeric scores have been consistent. We continue to get feedback on wait times on our call centers. We're addressing those issues as long as customers leave their names, but we feel that we're doing our due diligence and meeting the clients where they're at. The phone system is an issue across the state of Ohio because of that platform,
Yeah.
but that's Rebecca and her team, but they're diligent in meeting the customer's needs when it comes to our attention. So, questions on the survey?
Oh,
I want to be
Kelly
respectful
Jo,
of
I
your
just
time.
I just wanna give kudos to you and your staff, because a lot of times they can't get through the platform, and somehow a lot of them end up calling me, and of course, the first thing I do is call you and say, hey, and then she connects me to Rebecca, to Mandy, or whoever with the clients, and so I just wanna say thank you, because you guys are very respondent when that situation arises, so.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Quarter four, we started as a team, a senior support team, a number of community agencies distributing senior surveys. We didn't have any respondents, in the last month of the year, last 2 months of the year, so, we'll continue to make those available to senior citizens to gauge what we can do to continue to help them. Real quick, Calmer Insight Timer subscriptions. We have some training options we're going to look at and bring to your attention probably next month with health and wellness initiatives for our staff. But there's 2 subscriptions. One is from Calm and one is from Insight Timer that we're looking to explore and maybe make available to our staff on a voluntary basis. It helps with things like stress and meditation.
Can I help? Can I
Yes,
participate?
we will pay for your subscription.
He
But
needs a team.
yeah,
That's when you said team, it's a lot of help.
there's a few of our managers that have that subscription independently and speak so very highly of it. So we're continuing to think of innovative ways to help our staff
Yeah.
with secondary trauma
Yeah,
and
that's-
stressors. So
that
just
is-
wanted you to know, and
that's-
as we solidify our plans, we'll bring that to your attention. We meet on a quarterly basis with our sheriff's department, for whom we have a contract. Right now, we have we fund 1.5 FTEs. Sergeant Zwick and Detective Romo are on our team, and they assist our Child and Adult Protective Services team with investigations. And they have continued to improve their services to us. We're so very pleased with what they do. Detective Zwick has taken on many roles. She was one of the first ones that started with our team, and when we started this program, we used best practice funds that went away. So we are funding this grant through our operating dollars, but we don't want to see it go away. They called us to the table and asked if we would consider increasing the contract, for which we just signed, from 1.5 FTEs to 2 FTEs, just for the remainder of 2024. So because they want to kind of pull Detective Zwick off of this team and integrate somebody else, help to train her, get her acclimated to our world, we're in full support of that. We would default back to 1.5 January of 2025, but our world isn't something that individuals just come into and learn overnight. So I want to support from April of this year through December, increasing it temporarily so we can get a new person onboarded and trained.
And who would we lose?
We would still have Sergeant Zwick as our consult, but you wouldn't lose anybody. We would be gaining another detective in the team, and Sergeant Zwick would kind of fade off as far as the boots on the ground person. But then we would pivot back to 1.5. That's the commitment. It's just to get that person acclimated. training.
How much money of an increase? Because we know funding
I left it on my desk.
is a little.
I think it, if memory serves, I just did it before I came, it was like about $47,000,
And for 2024 only,
April through December,
if we were to increase it.
increase it by the
So this
half.
is to train someone else to replace.
Sergeant Zwick. Yeah, absolutely.
It would take that many months, you think, or they don't have? Is it going to be another detective?
It is a
or-
new detective, and I'm sorry I don't have her name. They have somebody that they think would work excellently with Detective Romo. But yeah, absolutely.
Is
And
that
our
what we've
cases
done
have
in the
increased
past?
too.
Is that what we've done in the past? Is we've paid for additional staffing to train someone?
Not for training, but we used to have the contract at 2.2 FTEs, and when our budget was really constrained,
Yeah, we had to cut it
reduced
back. So
yeah.
that's the reason I'm asking.
So what we're trying to do is take in a detective that's been a cop for 10 or 15, 16 years and bring him into the JFS world?
Yes.
Okay.
Child welfare. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would you support that temporarily
temporarily
this year?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then with the commitment of going back to one, we'll put that in writing, that it would default back to 1.5 in January 2025.
Sounds good.
Good?
Yep.
Thank you. So excited in your packet. Child Protective Services, we've had our challenges with caseload sizes. We have been named recently, there's a flyer in there that says we're gonna get a $40,000 incentive. We were one of the most improved counties. From October of 2022 to September 2023, we increased our comprehensive visitation services by 12.2%. So the baseline was 71%, which isn't fabulous. We're now at about 82%, and we strive to continue to do better. But to be able to be acknowledged for that improvement is phenomenal. So hats off to our Child and Adult Protective Services team. You'll also see a letter from Director Dan Schroeder, who's the JFS State Director, and Director Corcoran, who's the Medicaid State Director. It's just wonderful that they thanked. It's the first time that I've been a director in 9 years that we got a written thank you letter from those directors acknowledging the work that the JFS teams across Ohio are doing. So hats off to the team. We're going to share this letter and post them all over the agency after this meeting. And we might, under Rebecca's leadership, her team has been diligent in the Medicaid unwinding efforts. The state is talking about some incentives for that program, and we have been above 90% in our accuracy and our timeliness in that, so we're expecting to be awarded an incentive there too.
Awesome.
Yes. Job and Family Services is the fiscal and administrative agent for the Family and Children's First Council. And I'm excited that as a subcommittee of the council, we're also starting a youth council in Portage County, where we're going to garner information from our young people on what do they need and how can we do better and what services can we create and develop for the young people in Portage County. So there's just a flyer that's going out to try to establish this council, and it will be kind of led by youth, but overseen by some of the council members, but we're ecstatic to have that.
Is that by county?
Yes,
That's what it is.
yep, so it's Portage County Family, Children's, and First Council.
So when you look for young people to participate in that, there's all the different school systems that
Correct.
you should go, so you,
We just started some work groups, so we're gonna outreach to the school districts. We're absolutely gonna outreach to the social service agencies. We have our own CCMEP program where we serve 14 to 24-year-olds. We stay connected with our kiddos that emancipate from foster care. So we're gonna make it a cross-sectional, any youth that have interest in being a part of that and kind of helping us to kind of charter the next chapter for young people. Good?
good.
So last on my open agenda is a succession planning team. When I was the assistant director here about 9 years ago, we started a succession planning program. Not a program to guarantee people into promotion, but it opens up opportunities for individuals that want to learn more about positions in the agency, to be able to shadow, to take some additional trainings, to create a service project that benefits the agency. And so it's been successful. COVID, we relaxed it for a few years, and then we resurrected it this past year. We have 4 individuals that applied to be in the program. It's about 6 months. They don't get to walk away from their job duties. They have to actually add on additional things to be a part of this. So the group of 4 are here today, and they want to share with you a concept of a mobile response team where we get our services out to the community. They were told they have 3 minutes of your time.
3 minutes
share
each?
that. No, 3
Okay.
in totality. And so, Vanessa, do you think you could, just so they can see all 4 of them, sit behind Sue, and then will you guys introduce yourselves and then have at it?
Mandy Minnick.
I'm Rebecca Abbott.
Denise Fazenbaker.
Kevin Perry.
You guys ready?
Nice
Yep,
to meet
see,
you.
yep.
So, we have currently worked on some initiatives that we've been doing back in September. We collaborated with the Haven of Portage County, and our public assistance team started going out there every other week, and we continue to do so. We were able to provide on-site services right to our residents at the Haven. So we do intake applications, re-applications. We're able to update and make changes on cases right then and there. And we're able to answer questions on any public assistance needs that those residents may have. We found it to be a benefit, especially for our residents who may have transportation issues and can't come to us, or maybe they don't have a phone and aren't able to reach out to us via our phone center. So this gives us, they're right there staying in the Haven, and we're able to take care of that right then and there. So this team recognized that and recognized the success that we've had there as the public assistance team going out there. Mandy's team has gone out there as well, and so we wanted to look at expanding, and so we're looking at the JFS mobile response team.
Yeah. And so, like Rebecca said, we wanted to give just some structure and framework to what we were already doing out there in the community now, and that's kind of where this mobile response idea was born. And so we are putting together, you're gonna hear about some of the services that we're gonna offer from Kevin, but one way that we're gonna outreach is gonna be a little different, because yes, we will tell community members when we are gonna be out in the community, but we will be working closely with community leaders and agencies that we already work with, like United Way, PMHA, The Haven, CAC. I've been contacted by Wyndham Community to offer services there on a satellite basis. So we will be going out there and offering our services and taking what we do to the people where they need it, when they have barriers where they can't get to us.
So like Mandy and Rebecca said, so our goal is, our thoughts were to almost take JFS from this physical brick and mortar and take it to the people. So we want to expand our outreach into the community. We know that there are some people who have transportation issues, they can't physically get here, they may have health issues that prevent that. So we want to be able to take our services directly to the people, so they can apply for food assistance, they can apply for Medicaid. We want to also have them have access to any business and fiscal services or any of our kinship permanency programs. So the goal is, everything that we offer here, we want to take that directly to the public.
So when you do that, are you coming to my house, or we're meeting someplace?
Well, right
in
now, the goal is to have, not to jump ahead, but almost a mini satellite.
Okay.
So we may partner with PMHA, and we may go to a public housing complex or somewhere where there's a higher concentration of our residents that need our services.
Okay, thank you.
Your ears must have been burning, because I was just in a meeting with Town Hall 2 and NDS, and we were talking about, well, people, you know, with mental health and stuff, they don't have the know-with-all to go seek services. So why aren't we going to them? Why aren't we seeking them versus sitting in our offices waiting for them to come? So this is awesome.
So in the future, we're looking at the feasibility to expand into satellite locations and possibly a job of BAGO per Mandy.
What was
A what?
that last part?
Job of
I
BAGO.
have a dream of a mobile response job of Bago. I'm not kidding.
Job the Bago.
Job of Bago.
Like
I thought we were getting bagels this morning. I didn't.
Like a Winnebago, but we're gonna take. It used to be Ohio Means Jobs, but it can be JFS on
like
wheels.
the library,
Yeah.
it was the
The
library,
bookmobile.
meals on our yard.
Bookmobile.
Yeah,
bookmobile.
bookmobile.
Yeah. And you.
MRIs traveling.
And
across
honest
the
to
state.
God, I got to. You know who did it? Who actually got the funds through grants to do it before us? Franklin County, and I got
Bless
to
you.
sit on their bus, and it is amazing. And if we could have that and take it into the community, we'll get there. I'll write a grant for something, but we'll
There
get
you
there.
go. Cool idea.
Yeah, for baby.
Yeah, excellent. Great.
So they just wanted to present this, and we
Well,
hope
thank
you
you very much,
support our,
all of
our
you.
mobile response
Yeah.
concept.
That's
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Good.
Because that is all the things you've said are the glitches.
Yep.
You find somebody that needs something, they can't figure out how, so they say the heck with it, and that's very cool.
And I just
Very
want to say also, thank you for doing that resource guide
Oh,
for
yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's something you could hand out when you go out on
Yes.
these journeys.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very
That's
much.
it. I have
Appreciate it.
executive session with you, but you guys
Okay.
can all leave.
Thank you.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Congratulations.
And good job. I'm worried about that A thing. I just, I need some more help with that.
Oh, Tony. I told you.
I'm gonna prepare every meeting for that question now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll make a motion in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1. The Board of Commissioners moves into executive session to
Commissioner,
consider.
Could we put that on hold? Cause I need to come down and maybe speak with Michelle next week and maybe Tony. We're working on some things, so, this is,
So what is, I don't know what this is all
No,
about.
this is about Kelly Jones.
Kelly, this is Kelly Jones.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, you
Okay.
got, if you're not involved, you gotta get out.
Into executive
Yeah, no,
session.
you confused us.
To consider the compensation of a public employee.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, so your eyes
Scared.
lit
I
up,
was like,
didn't
what
they?
happened? Things do change fast.
motion, are you ready?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Any action?
No action.
Thank you, Kelly Jo.
Hi, Kelly Jo.
Hey guys, Joe, how are you?
Good. Hi, Brad.
Hey, long time no
See
see.
you twice in a day.
I feel lucky.
So Chris, morning.
Morning. We had a
Did you-
10
so
o'clock
did you think
that I
it was
just
good?
wanna put on hold, so.
Okay.
Oh, you wanna put on hold?
Sure.
Can
Sure.
I free executive session? We can talk next week.
That
Okay.
that 10:05, you wanna
Yeah.
put on hold?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming up, tell
No,
us.
that's okay. I didn't wanna leave you, I didn't wanna be rude. and
No,
do
that, no,
this.
appreciate it.
And thanks for the email with
Yeah,
the,
you know what, I just had lunch or breakfast with them, and that's one of the things he wanted to talk to me about. He's like,
looks like they're gonna.
they do not wanna sell, well, they're not gonna knock heads. That property was bought for hospital use,
Yeah.
you know, and they just wanna sublease that. They don't wanna,
They don't wanna convey it.
no.
Well,
So there's nothing built on it. They wanna rent it with building on it? They want to build it?
now they're talking about subleasing.
They wanna
1.3
sublease it.
acres, and I know John is in.
But
who's it
but
built?
if they were gonna build, they're gonna sublet and and he's gonna invest
That's
a couple
what-
$1 million to build that thing?
That's what John's
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
I know,
that's-
yeah, but they did the same thing with the veterans office up there. He said they sublet that, they talked to their attorney and stuff at UH, and they're like, well, first of all, it's not gonna be what John's asking for, that they're willing to give up. There's there's more to it, so,
Okay, okay.
but I just shot you that email.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Because-
take that off the table.
And again, look at what they did with the veterans, cause that's, you know, they built that brand new building, but UH kept.
That's good to know. I appreciate
Yeah, I
that. Now we
wanted
know
to-
it's
Yeah.
it's either sublease or nothing, and that's.
And
what
it's
we'll
not
have
gonna be what they're asking for,
Okay.
so, yeah, there's a lot more.
Okay,
we
we'll
need to
work
have
through it.
conversation.
All right, thank you,
to-
Chris.
Thanks, folks. See you later.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Jack, you're doing Jackie today? Are you Jackie?
No, Jackie's here.
Okay.
I'll go grab her.
Oh, there she is. Yeah, hi Jackie, morning.
Morning.
I just have one comment on my agenda, the resolution number 1. This is declaring the necessity to add a vehicle to the sheriff's fleet. This was a seized vehicle that is of no cost to the county, so we're just acknowledging it and adding it to adding the information.
Is that the one that, another one they you can use for,
DVC, I
Yeah,
think they're gonna
okay,
use
alright,
it, it's a
right.
Cadillac.
cool. Anything else?
No.
Alright, I'll go ahead and start. The Board of Commissioners, approves the satisfaction of mortgage for Robert L. Snyder for $24,700 as requested by Neighborhood Development Services, documents reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exception.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to sign the satisfaction of mortgage for Robert L. Snyder and Nancy Farron for $3,577 as requested by Neighborhood Development Services. Documents reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exception noted.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Did you get number 1?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My brain didn't hear it.
okay. Now you got me on myself, no.
3.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to sign the satisfaction mortgage for Robert L. Snyder and Nancy Farron for $3,323 as requested by Neighborhood Development Services. Documents reviewed by the Department of Budget and Finance with no exception noted.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorizes Commissioner Anthony Balamenti, President of the Board, to sign the Community Acknowledgement Form for the 2023 NOPEC Community Event Sponsorship Program. This form has been prepared and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management and Grants Coordinator with no exceptions noted.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, in accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval to direct the auditor's office to pay, process the January 18th bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to process the January 18th, 2024 budget amendment as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to declare the necessity to add to the Portage County Commissioners Fleet 1 seized vehicle for use by the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the grant award from the fiscal year 2022 Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant on behalf of Portage County Emergency Management Agency.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the application of the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Recovery Ohio 2024 grant program on behalf of the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the application to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency for Asset Management Development Grant Program for the Portage County Public Water System for the Portage County Water Resources Department.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to amend Resolution 24-0015 to be cash advance from Fund 7201 WCRRP General Administration to Fund 7233 WC Prospective Rating Plan 2024.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you, Jackie. Did you ask Tammy to come in?
Yes.
We're moving right along. We'll be right up.
Hey, Tammy, good morning.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Pretty simple.
Very simple.
Okay, I'll make a motion in accordance with 305.30 of the Ohio Revised Code and the Board's Resolution 21-0396, Part 9I. The Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the County Administrator's approval to approve the anniversary and/or step increases for the following non-bargaining employees: Michael Ambrose, Internal Services; Jerry Lauer, Budget and Finance.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now we got the Development Board. Can we do that or?
Can we go see if they're there?
Yeah, they're right outside. They're all out there.
Come on in. Yep.
Gee whiz.
You're red.
You whipped
I
right
feel like,
through
I
it.
feel like that commercial where they have the oil change.
Get it out.
Good
I didn't have
idea.
time.
Good to see you again. Glad everything's going good.
Mark Knapp.
Tony Bettleman.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you.
All right,
Hi, Mayor.
might as well sit up here.
Morning.
Mayor, you can come up. Is there another chair we can?
We'll get a little intimate here.
All right.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
Good, long time no see, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming this morning.
You're welcome. All right.
Ready when you guys are?
I'm ready for you.
All right. Well, thank you. This morning, we're here to present to the, for the county approval, a enterprise zone property tax abatement for Spring Seal and MCSM LLC. Mark Knapp
That's right.
is the president of the company, and he's here to talk about his project. Some quick statistics on it. They're planning to construct 10 to 20,000 square feet. Total project cost, which includes land, building, and machinery equipment, is $1.82 million. They'll be creating another 10 jobs over the next 3 years. They'll hold on to 60 full-time and 1 part-time. Total payroll is close to $3 million when you add all those things together. So this is a great company. This is your second, I think, expansion.
Second expansion.
Yeah.
And I'll turn it over to you to fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
Where
so
are you
we're,
located at?
we're just excited to expand here. We're over on Enterprise Parkway by Sheets and near the hospital there.
Okay.
Because you came from where? Manaway?
We came from, we had facilities all over the country at one time. So we had one in St. Louis, Missouri. We had one in Portland, Oregon. Another one in Garrettsville.
Oh, Garrettsville.
And then
Okay.
I had an office space in Streetsboro. So we've combined all of that here in Ravenna about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And had a recent expansion just before the pandemic.
So you operate multiple states out of here?
All out of here now.
Okay.
Yep. So we've closed all the other facilities. We've everything here.
Headquarters.
Yeah, and it's been very good for us. We've found that our growth here has been exponential.
Excellent.
So it's we've gone from I think the first building we put up was 20 or 30,000 square feet. Now today we're in that building. It's close to 80,000 square feet, 70-some thousand.
Wow.
And we plan to add another 10 to 20 on the new property we purchased in the same industrial park. So we'll kind of create our own little campus there.
Excellent.
And we hope to have that expansion. The capability of that building should be close to 100 to 150,000 square feet at some time.
Wow.
So-
Excellent. What do you do in your buildings?
We make plastic products,
Okay.
so it's mostly for OEM manufacturers for pipe companies.
Mhm.
The black corrugated pipe you see laying along the roadside, we hold a number of patents to make those sealing systems for those pipes.
Okay.
Um,
So my brain, so you said sealing, I'm thinking black tar.
Oh,
Sealing,
yeah, no, these are all rubber gasket type
gaskets,
things,
okay.
made from a thermoplastic product that's fully recyclable.
Mhm.
And we have a system that allows us to combine multiple materials together, so we can make hard and soft phases in that gasket, which allow it to perform better in the industry, and it's been very successful worldwide for us.
What industry do you usually target? Is it aircraft or cars or?
It's mostly construction market.
Okay.
It also, stormwater retention systems, those type of things.
Mhm.
We work really close with a lot of companies that work in those areas.
Okay.
We've also started to diversify, so since we've been here, we were probably 80 to 90%. Everything we made went in the ground in some fashion with some sort of pipe. Now today, we've expanded that technology out to other things like heavy truck and automotive industry stuff, just a number of different things.
Well, it's awesome to hear you
Yeah.
growing in Portage County.
Yeah,
We like that.
yeah, it's been very good for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Excellent, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good move.
All right, yep.
All right, the proposal is a property tax abatement. It has gone through the city and through the school district. And so it is up to you guys for.
Taking it, Mayor, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, they're a wonderful business, and it's actually a family business. His wife also
Yes.
is in a building up there, and
Right.
they do billing for fire.
Please invite.
911 service and safety scene
With
cleanup.
that, this will be, I think, the third expansion
It is.
with this, and he has managed them beautifully. They've always been a pleasure to work with. They also support when we put the other entrance out onto 14, they had assessments, and I can't say enough good things about this company and the folks that own it and run it.
Excellent.
It's just a pleasure to have it in Ravenna.
Thank you, Mayor.
I appreciate that.
Where are you from?
I'm from the area. I grew up in Garrettsville.
Okay, great, excellent. Sabrina?
So, just to recap, this is only on the real estate, the real property.
This is on the building,
On
yes,
the building.
the
Yeah.
new building.
Okay.
Correct.
100% for 10 years. Okay, okay.
All right,
All right, well,
I'm good. You got my blessing.
Great, I appreciate it.
Yep,
yeah.
excellent.
And later
Happy
on, when we go over our internal services resolutions, we'll approve it, so.
Okay,
Great.
very good.
Okay.
Right,
Well, it's a pleasure to be in
Congratulations,
front of you
excellent.
guys again, and I appreciate all your
Pleasure.
help.
Thanks for your
Good
time,
luck.
folks.
Continue
Thank you.
growing.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. By the way, I ran into Kevin Harrigan.
Harrity.
Yeah, Harrigan. Yeah, he said hello.
Yeah, I used to play softball with him years ago.
Chris,
I got here at 5 to 8.
Mark.
It's like,
Right.
it's supposed to be someplace else. But I apologize.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, missed a good meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Only place, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Right,
sorry.
you guys built that.
And she's
Yeah, I-
doing great.
Our next one is in April. Please
She'll
come
be
to that one.
expanding
It'll be a
before
good one
you know
too.
it.
I had
It's
all
been really good
intentions
for her.
of doing that. I was
Yeah.
up at 4:30 this
Yeah,
morning.
it's going
and-
great.
Good to see you, and I'm
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The
Right.
day, the day gets catch,
Yeah.
gets
Right.
get
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Great
stuff.
job.
Good stuff.
Great
That's
job.
right. Thank you.
Continue.
Sabrina.
Mayor, thank you very much for coming. Good to see you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
Cassie.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all,
We,
folks.
I'll see you later.
See you all later.
My daughter dropped off a horse down in Wilmington
To-
that I think.
Is Jenna's right? Yeah, she's in Wilmington?
This is the young one
Okay.
that we've got. He's just down there being schooled right
Okay.
now.
Because I think she's going from Wilmington to Florida with that. So she's
Well, we're going slow with this guy. We
Okay.
think he's gonna be a good one.
excellent. Has Jenna been to your office yet?
No,
I'm going to bring her because
Okay.
everybody keeps telling her what's on your walls.
yeah.
And I think she should be able to see
I
that.
tell you, it brightens my day
Yes,
to look
right.
over there and see her on that horse.
All right. Her too. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Come on up, ma'am.
Miss Shannon?
Yes.
We actually caught up.
Okay, I have project updates,
All
and
right.
several resolutions.
Thank you, ma'am.
A lot more red today.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go to the admin building, and this will be for several of the areas you'll see for the resolution to award the RFQ for the architect is on
Mhm.
our agenda. We'll set up a meeting with all the departments, and this will be for several areas you'll see on this first page. Cause we need to the architects have to get an idea of what the project scope is to
Mhm.
give us a cost for their services.
Okay.
So right now, we're just, it's basically a resolution to meet with them.
And
So-
we've met, this person's worked with us, with you?
Yes, it is Hasenstaub, and the
Okay.
reason why we chose Hasenstaub is because a part of this project is gonna be the Keltron system,
Mhm.
and they actually have
Yeah.
several, plans of our buildings already.
Oh,
So,
good.
cut down on the cost a little bit,
Mhm.
so. The same goes with the 7th floor renovation, it is the same, thing. The new generator, it came to our attention, they're gonna put the new generator outside on a slab, right outside of, you know where we park back there?
Mhm.
There used to be a chimney right there,
Mhm.
and a very large chimney, and this was before, not when I was doing projects at the time, but they collapsed that chimney, but in that time, there's an incinerator right behind there that was attached to that chimney, and it needs to be removed for the generator to be able to be put in.
Oh.
And if you see the cost, it's tremendous. I've reached out to 3 different people, and only Hummel is the only one that got back to us, cause nobody wants to touch it.
The
It's
incinerator.
huge. It's huge, and it's got, a lot of ceramic brick in there, that needs to be removed. I can show it to you, it's very large, it's probably,
So our
that
whole
size
entire
robot.
building will then have backup generator. Cause
Yes.
years ago,
we do have backup generator in a lot of the areas when it was the hospital, cause it's the original hospital generator, I believe.
but I thought Board of Elections needed a.
They
backup.
have
They
their
did that.
own.
They
They
did
did
their
that,
own,
yeah.
yeah,
That was
cause they
2
were
years ago,
borrowing
maybe.
EMAs, Haslam, yeah, okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
But this is a generator that's been on order for a year,
Okay.
and it'll start in April, but I have to move this incinerator out of the way, and I can't get anybody that wants to do it, and they're willing to do it, so.
Okay.
It'll have to come out of my maintenance budget, I put that in there, my maintenance expense budget. It's just unforeseen, we didn't know it at the time, I thought we had all of our i's and t's crossed, but we didn't. The Keltron system, that is the same, we're gonna use the same architect, cause they're already gonna be in our buildings. And that'll probably be a separate contract, I'm guessing, versus just building, because a different company will have to bid on the Keltron system, the fire system. That's just, I'm guessing. And the same with the building department, if you go to the second page, the same architect, we're just using the same architect for this building. The maintenance garage roof, I'm putting it back on, it was on last year, but we didn't have the funds last year, so we budgeted for it for this year, and I
Okay.
called BOC Sons, who originally built it, and they're willing to hold the price for us from last year. So I was like, I was gonna jump on that one, so.
Oh, yeah, I just met them at the development board meeting this morning.
Yeah, we've worked with
Yeah.
them quite a bit in the past, and they really are helpful, and we'll work with pricing with us a lot of times, they're very
Good.
helpful, so. And they always, if you have any issues with leaks or anything like that, they're willing to come out, they've done great for us. If you go to page, let's see, page 5, Judge Loretta's office space, the project has started. It's probably gonna take approximately 2 weeks. They think they'll actually be done by mid-next week with that office space. That's right
Oh,
there.
okay.
And then, at the Riddle Block bidding, the roof replacement and then the HVAC replacement, the walkthrough is tomorrow at
11:30?
11:30, weather permitting. I don't know if we're gonna get storms. We keep having to push it off because
Don't you wanna go to that?
I do.
We
She
did-
she
I
texted
did
me the
text
other
her.
day. Yeah.
So it depends on the weather. I don't know if I'll go up there, but I'm sure Sunny can go up there.
So if we could revert back to other conversation we had, the 4th floor is where you gain access to the roof.
Yes, you have to go
River
through,
Block?
I think it's in the public defender's area.
Yeah, okay, right, and so I'm having a hard time seeing the other huge room that's up there.
Oh,
That's
so if you go
to the
straight up
right.
to the stair, we can show
Yeah,
you
yeah,
that too.
okay, yeah.
It's
They're
very
to the
large.
left and it's to the right, it's that big.
Okay,
bullpen.
that's what I thought, to the back of the building, towards the back of the building.
It's always locked, so you probably don't see it. You just think it's just an office, but
Okay.
it's very large. Now, there are no restrooms in there either. They have to utilize the 4th floor restrooms. There's no restrooms in that
Mhm.
space.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. That's all I have for today. So now I have resolutions.
Slacker. Yeah. Now these resolutions. All right.
There was one resolution, is that, and I don't know, I didn't see it, the for, Rob, we were gonna put it on my agenda,
I thought they
for the easement.
It
I
is
didn't know if
on
he was
there.
gonna
I
be
think
in
it's
here.
number.
It's
It's
on
here.
there.
I didn't know if he was gonna be in here when did you guys have questions or did you already talk about
Or
it?
is this for the temporary easement for ODOT?
ODOT?
Yeah.
You guys
to
are
do
good?
work.
That was at
Okay.
4 feet or 8 feet across, yeah.
Okay, alright, so you don't need him in here?
No.
Okay, good, okay. Thank you.
All right, so I'll start my marathon reading session. All right, let me go here. Okay, the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for damage assessment software with the Portage County Emergency Management Agency and Futuria IT Inc.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for development of a custom iPhone Android mobile application for emergency management related information with Portage County Emergency Management Agency and OCV LLC.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners approves the general sewer and water agreement for improvements to Pleasant Lakes Block D condominiums, Portage County Water Resources Department project.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorizes the execution of an agreement with the Portage County Water Resources Department and the Portage County Regional Planning Commission for the purpose of geographic information system services.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with Hasenstab Architects, Inc. for professional architectural design services for the Portage County Administration Building renovation project and upgrade of the Keltron system.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter to a real estate agreement for the property located at 211 South Chestnut Street, Ravenna, Ohio.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to approve specifications and set the request for proposal date for the transportation services for the Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners accepts proposals of Panani and enter into an agreement for professional design services for the project known as Judson Road Bridge Rehabilitation in Franklin Township, Portage, Ohio.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorizes execution of an agreement with the Portage County Combined General Health Department for the purpose of cooperation and coordination as it relates to the execution of responsibilities of the Portage County Stormwater District.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for aviation branded fuel support provider with the Portage County Regional Airport and Purvis Brothers, Inc.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement within the rural enterprise zone of the city of Ravenna, Ohio, with Spring Seal, Inc., an MCSM LLC tax abatement agreement for real property only.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners approves and authorizes the execution of a permanent easement to be granted to the Ohio Department of Transportation, a temporary easement to the Ohio Department of Transportation for work purposes, and a contract for the right-of-way of entry to the Ohio Department of Transportation for work purposes along Route 44 concerning the areas described in those instruments.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Shannon.
I'll
Is there-
see you at 11:30.
11:30?
We have the
Yes,
veterans.
we have our vet thing.
Any public comment coming up? Not yet? Okay.
Put in the
Miscellaneous, ma'am.
Man, look at that. Okay, marathon. The Board of Commissioners signs the January 12th, 2024 correspondence to Lindsay Cummings releasing and terminating the road bond for the special hauling issued for the Hartford Fire Insurance Company under permit and bond in the amount of $80,000 is being released and returned at their request as recommended by the County Engineer's Office.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners signs the January 17th, 2024 correspondence to Brianna Fickinson, releasing and terminating the Hall Road Use and Maintenance Agreement issued by the Hartford Fire Insurance Company under bond in the amount of $50,000. Bond is being released and returned at Maple Crest LLC's request as recommended by the County Engineer's Office.
Second, roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorize and allows the 75% reduction in the storm water fee being charged to parcels 320211000019 and 320211000020 owned by the Ridgetown United Methodist Church on State Route 44 in accordance with Resolution 09-0835, Section 9, Credit Program, and authorize the reimbursement overpayment of the stormwater utility fees from the last billing period for the above-mentioned parcels in accordance with Resolution 09-0835, Section 7, as requested by the Portage County Stormwater District.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the January 15th, 2024 certificate of the county auditor that the total annual appropriation from each fund does exceed the official estimate of resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
In accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 32507, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the monthly record of proceedings and transactions for December 2023 as presented by the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
In accordance with ORC Section 325.07, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the Portage County Sheriff's Transporting Report for December 2023 as presented by the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Portage County Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the kennel disposition report and intake report for January 8th, 2024 through January 14th as presented by the Chief Dog Warden.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the January 22nd, 2024 certificate of the county auditor that the total annual appropriations from each fund does exceed the official estimates of resources for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024 as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners signed the January 19th, 2024 correspondence to Jolene Mornay, Architect Development Reviews Manager at the State Historic Preservation Office regarding activities determined to be exempt from the SHAPO review as presented by the Regional Planning Commission.
Second, roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, call recess till 11 o'clock. Ms. Smith, how are you this morning?
Okay.
We'll come out of recess, reconvene the Board of Commissioners. Anything come before the board?
No, sir, I don't. I'll
Make-
make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that. Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you.